Hello everyone, welcome to another Hollow Knight video. Today we're going to be ranking the areas of Hollow Knight in a good tier list that I made, and I have named these according to the fucking hierarchy we follow in Hollow Knight. So the top we have gods, which I know higher beings are also gods, bite me, I watch Mossbag, but what I mean by gods is like pale being gods, you know, like pale king. So it's the top of the top of the cream if you might, at S tier. And we have higher beings at A tier, obviously the common bugs, B tier, and then we have savages, which are the bugs that roam around outside Hallownest, so they do not have the Pale King's big brain. And then of course, at the bottom, we have the Umu tier, the bottom trash garbage tier. Now, I'd like to say that this is just my opinion based upon the ambience and the artwork of the area and the whole atmosphere it provides, but I'd also like to take into consideration the gameplay aspect of it, and even if the area is good looking, does it translate to good gameplay? Now, bad gameplay and on purpose fucked up gameplay are two very different things, alright? We'll get to that. But if an area is supposed to be an assholic area, I can't be like, oh, this area is annoying because that was the whole point. But if an area is just annoying for the perks of being annoying, then I'll mention that, alright? But we'll get to it as we get to it. I got my coffee in my little owl mug. Look at that. It's so... Can you see it? You can see it. It's so fucking cute. I love it. But, you know... Oh, who's calling me? My mom's calling me. Mom, not right now. Like, middle of more fucking important things. Anyway. Let's start with our boy, Ancient Basin. Ancient Basin, one of the rare areas in Hollow Knight which does not have a soundtrack. It's just pure silence, and all you hear is your little tippy-toppy footsteps. I always liked Ancient Basin the first time I was playing the game is when I reached that place, because it's so, like, deep down below, and throughout the game you're trying to, like, dig down and go deeper and deeper. It's a pretty cool area, but it's also, like, in hindsight, very overshadowed by other places. It's not at all annoying or bad, so I think this is a perfect candidate for average, common B tier. Also, let me know if you disagree with any of these. Let me know in the comments how wrong I am. I'd love to fucking debate with you down there. City of Tears, God fucking tier. If anyone puts City of Tears anywhere other than S tier, I don't know what the fuck they're smoking, dude. This area is where I fucking fell in love with this game. You enter the place, you hear the somber music, you hear the raindrops, you step outside into the fucking raining city, and you get that title drop. Oh, it's so fucking beautiful. It's also at the heart of the city. Heart of the kingdom is this where the city is, so it's the most central area, one of the largest areas in the game. I think this is the largest area in the game. The only candidate up to it would be Deepness, but it's very large, it's beautiful, it's divided into west and east wing, and they're completely different vibes. You go more east, you get more royals and their posh little purple area, then you go west, it's more of a common bugs place. It's just so fucking good, man. This place has like everything, you know. It has a good boss fight with what's his fucking face, Soul Master. He fucked my ass the first time I played the game. So many memories with this place, and one of my favorite sections, the pleasure house, is in City of Tears. No, it's not what it sounds like for all you people who don't play Hollow Knight, but that place in the pleasure house where you just get to sit and relax and just take it all in. Oh, it's just so good. S tier, easy S tier. And hey, it's the place where you get to murder Nailsmith if you're into that. Moving on, we have Crystal Peaks. This is a tough one because I really like the soundtrack of Crystal Peak. I like the whole industrial aspect of it. No other area in Hallownest is kind of that man-made, or I should say bug-made, like Crystal Peaks. You have all these platforming sections, and the only other place that there's platforming in this fucking game is the White Palace. I really wish Hollow Knight had more platforming, but hey, Silksong, am I right? But, you know, it's also the problem of this place is just fucking annoying, man. I have a personal grudge against Crystal Peaks, dude. The amount of times Crystal Peaks has ended my fucking career in a Steel Soul run, oh man. And like, Crystal Peak was one of my biggest challenges when learning to speedrun, because I would just fucking die trying to get Crystal Heart. So I do have a personal bias, but I just don't know where to put this thing. Genuinely though, after I've gotten a lot better at the game, I do think that Crystal Peaks is like one of those noob killer areas, you know. If you're not good at the game, this area will kick your ass, but I feel like you get to appreciate it and it kind of grows on you. So this might be controversial, but I'm putting Crystal Peak snugly into the A tier. Deepness. I am about to fucking piss some people off with my controversial hot take. But Deepness is fucking amazing, alright? Look, here, put the pitchforks down, hear me out, alright? Calm down. The whole point of Deepness is to make you feel scared, claustrophobic, completely uncomfortable and out of your element, and it accomplishes all of them with fucking flying colors. The first time I went into Deepness was not by beating Mantis Lords because I was fucking dogshit at the game, so I couldn't do it. But I was exploring around Fungal Waste and I just found the breakable floor and just fucking fell into Deepness. And I had no idea what to do. I had zero fucking clue. I was so scared. And all these stupid fucking crawling bugs. Throughout Hollow Knight, the bugs are designed in a cutesy manner, you know, you don't really feel grossed out or weirded by them. They're like very cute, very pretty, but Deepness, holy fucking shit. Ari Gibson just dialed it up to 11, that fucking man. My only gripe with Deepness is, yes, you do get the boss fight of Nosk in there, which is a very cool boss fight because it lures you in and it just fits the theme of Deepness perfectly. And I guess there's the dream boss, Galleon, there, but who the fuck cares about that? My problem with Deepness is there was no Dreamer fight, you know? Like, Watcher Knights is such a memorable section for City of Tears, and that elevates it, in my opinion. But in Deepness, we just never get to fight the boss that guards Hera. So that's kind of a letdown. And then I feel like one of the other problems with Deepness I have is Distant Village. I feel like that area could have been expanded upon a little bit more, like Mantis Village was. Like, you know, like at the very end where there's a big giant room. You know what I'm talking about? But other than that, this place just has so much lore and history to it, you know? You see the broken tramway, you see like just so much going on. Dead bodies, fucking weird moths flying, throwing, spitting their babies out at you and whatnot. I just feel like this area gets way too much hate because it does what it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to be a fun theme park ride. So I'm putting Deepness top of A tier, actually, above Crystal Peaks. Crystal Peaks, go down there. The only reason, again, it's not in S tier is because of that Distant Village section. But anyway, Dirtmouth, S tier. Look, listen, hear me out. I'm so excited about Silksong, and one of the reasons I'm excited about Silksong, among 10 million others, is that there's going to be more cities and areas like Deepness, where you can just calm down, take it all in. It's a small little town with shops and like places you can go to and diary entries you can read. There's a graveyard next to the fucking well. There's a mysterious cave at the end of Deepness. Not Deepness, Dirtmouth. Have I been saying Deepness? Have I been calling Dirtmouth Deepness all this time? I mean Dirtmouth. But the thing is, there is literally no other place like Dirtmouth in Hollow Knight. It is the only place where you can fucking chill, relax, and take it all in. And the music, the soundtrack that goes with Dirtmouth is... oh, it's the theme of the game, man. It's just so fucking beautiful. I love it. And, you know, the whole thing of the well entrance being right there, and Dirtmouth is where you're starting, baby. And, you know, most people, if you're like me, when you unlock Dreamgate, you just put it in Dirtmouth. Just because anytime you're in fucking any shitty situation, you can just fucking instant transmission out back to Dirtmouth, which is, you know, it's a safe place. And it's just perfect. I love Dirtmouth. What a great place. And hey, it has Elderbug. And if you don't give Elderbug the fucking white pale flower, you're playing the game wrong. Next up, we have Fog Canyon. Fuck Fog Canyon, in my opinion. Alright, look, hear me out. Fog Canyon is such a weird fucking place. Because, okay, let me point out all the gripes I have with this fucking place, alright? Fuck the jellyfish. Those things fucking suck. Fucking spitting everywhere. God damn it. Those things fucking suck. And then second thing, you just don't find the map for this place till way later in the game. The map is just fucking hidden in such a weird spot that you have the empty fucking gap in your Hollowness map, and it's just pissing you off till the end of times. And worst offender of all is the fucking dog shit garbage tier boss fight that is Uvu. Fucking hate that piece of trash. The amount of speedruns that thing has ruined for me. Oh, the only good thing about Fog Canyon, in my humble opinion. Oh, and while we're at the bad things, there's that fucking banker who fucking robs you and steals all your fucking money. But the only good thing about this place is Monomon. Monomon, the teacher, I love her lore. Not because of the tentacles, mind you. And I just like the whole teacher's archive, you know, her cathode ray tubes, futuristic databases where you can't really decipher it. I love the whole Quirrell storyline, you know, Quirrell is there with you fighting the boss. He has to break the seal on Monomon, and that's a really, really cool fucking feature. But I feel like that has less to do with the area itself and more of a character thing, you know? So I can't really give Fog Canyon points for that, so it's gonna have to fucking live in fucking Uwu tier where it belongs. Forgotten Crossroads. Forgotten Crossroads is an area that I feel like could be better. Hear me out. It serves its purpose in terms of game design and in hindsight when you have the entire map unlocked, but even after you have the whole thing unlocked, I feel like Forgotten Crossroads is just so dull. It's just bluish caves with not much going on, and I get from a lore perspective that's kind of the point, but it being the very first area that the player explores, I have talked to certain people who have literally dished Hollow Knight right after getting to Forgotten Crossroads. Like, they get there, they move around a little bit, they get their ass beat by False Knight, and then they just kind of quit because it doesn't have much to keep people's captivation going. And later on it works very well, because if you're a Metroidvania fan, you'll find so many places in Forgotten Crossroads that you can't access right now because you don't have all the movement abilities. So you mark it on your map, or you just keep a mental note, and then you can come back to it later on, and it's really fucking cool. You know, you discover places, you like break a wall, and it's a whole new area in Forgotten Crossroads, and it's all great and all, but I feel like at the start of the game, when you don't have any movement abilities, the place just turns out to be too dull. And I feel like when it gets infected, it, you know, elevates it a lot more than just the original Forgotten Crossroads area. I'm trying to see if they don't have Infected Crossroads here, do they? That kind of sucks, because Infected Crossroads I'd actually put pretty high, but Forgotten Crossroads I feel like is our first C tier entry. Fungal Waste, another very controversial area among the Hollow Knight community. Some people love it, some people fucking hate it, and I feel like the reason to hate this place more than anything is all the fucking acid around it. Once you get Isma's tier, this place is a cakewalk, and I feel like that's one of its faults, is it's either really gonna buttfuck you right at the start with hard boss fights like Mantis Lords and fucking all the platforming you have to do around the acid, but then later on when you're powerful enough to beat the ass of Mantis Lords, and then all the Mantises are not hostile anymore, they bow down to you, and you're immune to acid because you get Isma's tier. So it's just like there's not much going on at all in Fungal Waste, and it's a fucking cakewalk. So I feel like balance wise it's a bit off, but then when you actually look at the area, it's one of the first areas, well, after Green Path I'd say, that's very distinct from, you know, rest of the game. Like, you go into it and you get this whole fungal mushroom vibes, and it's just good, you know. I feel like that carries it, elevates it a lot above than where I would have put it originally. And two more factors. One, that little fake out floor where you're walking and it drops you right into Deepness, that's fucking great, and that's in Fungal Waste. And then two, the Mantis Lord boss fight. You know, you can't ignore my girls, my lords. You know, one of the most fun boss fights in the game. And the whole Mantis Village area I actually really like. I like that the Mantis Village area is tough. I like that they're the only one of the few people not infected by the Radiance infection, so they have their minds with them and they bow down to you when you show strength. It's just very cool. So I'm gonna put Fungal Waste in A tier, or I actually might put it in B tier. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm putting it in A tier. My opinion, whatever. Fuck you. I feel like this place, you know, gets way too much hate than it deserves, which is a trend, as you'll see. Most of the areas in the game are fucking awesome, so S tier and A tier is gonna get a lot of entries. Speaking of which, Green Path, baby, easy S tier. This place is one of, most people call Green Path their favorite place area in Hollow Knight, and rightfully so. Green Path has just great music, it's fun to explore, it introduces you to Hornet, it has a great ambience, you know, like the lushy greens. It's just beautiful. It's an amazing area. It has thorns and shit, but it doesn't get as annoying as Fungal Waste acids. And this is I feel like Green Path is the area that starts to teach you how to get good, you know. And I feel like that's what's Forgotten Crossroads was lacking. Like, could you imagine if Green Path was the first area that you go to in Hollow Knight? I feel like that'll capture a lot more interest among new people who maybe have not played Metroidvania games before and are unsure about Hollow Knight. And I feel like Silk Song is addressing this issue, because you start in the Mossy Grotto, which is basically very similar to Green Path. It is nice, green, contrasty, you know. It just captures your attention compared to something like Forgotten Crossroads, which is just very dull and damp, which I guess is the point, but you know what I mean. But you know, Green Path, amazing place. It has some great landmarks like the Lake of Fun. You know, it has the Hornet fight. You get the dash ability here, so you're getting your first movement ability and starting to move around. You fight a fucking what's her face, No Eyes, which is weird, but you know, it's a creepy boss fight. You get the Hunter's Journal here. It leads to multiple areas. The way Queen's Garden loops back around to Green Path at the end, it's also very cool. You meet my boy Shio in Green Path, you know, Shio and Nailsmith's whole fucking love story arc. It's just so much going on for this place. And of course, my boy Zote. Can't forget about Zote. But I like it. Green Path is S tier. Howling Cliffs. Howling Cliffs. Barely an area, I feel. I get it why it looks the way it looks because it's connected to King's Pass and Dirtmouth and all that place, but this place is just really lame. I feel like I'm gonna, this goes in the fucking F tier. I can't even give it a C tier, man. This place just fucking sucks. The only good thing about it is the Grim Troop DLC that's there. Other than that, like, yeah, Gorb is a meme, I guess, which is fucking hilarious. And there's the Stag Nest, which I barely count as part of Howling Cliffs because you can't get there normally anyway without some tricky platforming, which is basically sequence breaking at that point, and that doesn't count. But, you know, this place, it could have been more. It could have been like, I feel like it's one of those places that's at the edge of the kingdom, but then if you look at the actual other edge of the kingdom on the east side, which is Kingdom's Edge, there's so much going on in Kingdom's Edge, but the Howling Cliffs just, you know, it doesn't do that for me. There's not even much I can say about this place. Just very basic, very comparatively to other places. F tier. Speaking of controversies, baby, Kingdom's fucking Edge. Now, I'll take my pants off right now and be very honest with you guys. I hate this place. I absolutely fucking hate Kingdom's Edge just because I played it the first time and I was obviously bad at platformers, and I just have that distinct memory attached of constantly fucking falling down, trying to climb this hellscape and being butt fucked by primal aspects, dude. And it has one of the fucking worst boss fights here. Hornet 2, I'm just fucking kidding. Marcotte, that piece of shit exists. Hornet 2 fight is the only good thing about this place, and obviously the Coliseum of Fools is pretty nice, but I don't know, man. Yeah, look, this place, I will give it to it. It has a great soundtrack. While Kingdom's Edge soundtrack is actually one of my favorites. But as an area, yeah, it's cool. There's the ash falling down and everything. But like lore-wise, it doesn't serve much purpose. I'm not gonna give it an F tier because, you know, looking at the F tier entries, this has a lot more going on. And I'm pretty sure this place is gonna be much higher up in a lot of people's list. But I'm giving that a fucking solid C tier. Because, oh man, this place is fucking, it just destroyed me, you know? It's just not a fun time. And is it just me, or Kingdom's Edge is way too big for its own good? There's not much going on in it if you think about it, you know? You're just navigating through primal aspects most of the time, trying to get to Hornet and the Coliseum. And once you do unlock the Coliseum, and you unlock that shortcut through the elevator shaft, there's no fucking reason to come down here ever again because this place fucking sucks. I mean, hey, at least it gives us Quick Slash, right? Ooh, Queen's Garden, baby. I really love Queen's Gardens. It's a great area. I don't know if it deserves S tier though, but I will give it an A tier. In fact, I'm gonna put it atop of A tier for me. Yeah. Queen's Garden, you know what, while I'm at it, I should I'll rearrange them in a bit. But Queen's Gardens, it's such a great area. You know, it's like Green Path, but on steroids, you know? And you might be thinking, why isn't it above Green Path? Well, I just feel like Green Path is a more well-balanced area and more rounded than Queen's Gardens. Then again, Queen's Garden was part of Green Path in the lore, and it's kind of a subsection for it in late game. Great place. You meet the White Lady, which, by the way, is one of my favorite characters. I don't know why a lot of people fucking hate on White Lady. I feel like she's great. She has so much dialogue, you know? It's just the scenery right outside her little cocoon where you can see Drya dead, fighting some mantises, which is kind of pathetic, but it's a pretty cool imagery. The stag stations. Oh, is that stacks? You know, it's the bench. It's the bench you get where you get the little gramophone come from the top and it's music playing and you're just looking outside at the ambience. It's pretty cool. It keeps going on top, you know. You can keep climbing in Queen's Garden until you reach Green Path, which is really cool. Lots of cool things about this place, you know. I feel like Queen's Garden has one of the more unique layout in terms of how the area is structured, because you have to go all the way around and you unlock certain shortcuts, and the stag station is also kind of hidden. It's just so much going on in this area, man. I really like Queen's Gardens, you know, and I feel like a lot of people share my love for Queen's Garden. It's a good challenge when you're speedrunning too. It never feels unfair. Even the Mantis arenas never feel unfair. And the Trader Lord boss fight is pretty good. I feel like that could have been a bit harder, but it's a pretty good boss fight, you know. I like that. That's how you unlock your way to the Queen. Just lots of things going on for Queen's Gardens. And of course, the QGA skip in speedrun is one of the most infamous skips you can do. So all in all, solid top of A tier. Now while I'm at it, I'm also going to rearrange some of the entries. So City of Tears is easily my favorite area in the game. I feel like Green Path deserves to be more atop of Dirtmouth. Queen's Garden, Deepness, yeah, that sounds about right. And then I feel like I like Kingdom's Edge more than Crossroads. And I feel like I like Cliffs more than Fog Canyon. Fog Canyon can eat my ass, dude. You deserve to be in the bottom of the bottom tier, bro. Anyway, Resting Grounds. Hear me out. Okay, Resting Grounds used to be my favorite area. I don't know what's about the place. It's the most non-hostile fucking place you can find. But it's just, there's something about it, man. It's probably the music. If you watch my Pixel Perfect on Hollow Knight, I tell that Resting Grounds theme song is one of my favorites. I have to put Resting Grounds in S tier. Like, look, I know, very controversial. Most people will not put it like that much above, you know, A tier would be the best. People might go with it. But Resting Grounds, oh man, the whole storyline, questline with Seer, the catacombs down in the graveyard, the whole graveyard setting in general, the tramway, just all of it, man. The first time I took a tram was from Forgotten Crossroads to Resting Grounds, and I still remember that moment. I don't know why that moment meant so much to me, because it was like a mechanical industrial structure you're riding along, which has so much remnants of the past of the kingdom, the Pale King's influence, you know. There's Seer, which is obviously one of the only few remainders of the Moth tribes, which is the Radiance, the whole main villain you're fighting. There's the whole place with the backer content in it. I forgot what it's called. It's a Spirit of Glade, something like that. But Resting Grounds, man, it's a small area. It's very small, but I really, really like it. I feel like it does what it's supposed to do perfectly, you know? It's just pitch perfect. I can't justify it with logic, but to me, it'll always belong in S tier, baby. Royal Waterways. Oh, man. Okay, Royal Waterways is... Everyone hates this place, and rightfully so. What I like about it is the structure of Royal... It's like a stretched out highway right below the city. It doesn't have a lot of verticality in it, which that you can't say that about most places in Hallownest. Usually they have a lot of verticality to them, but Royal Waterways just doesn't. Kind of really like that about it. And I like the whole Dung Defender arc of how he's taken upon himself, Ogrim, to defend the waterways. And you know, there's something going on in the Junk Pit with the God Tamer, not the fucking God Tamer, the God Seeker. And it's kind of alluded that maybe it's Ogrim who captured Godseeker into the cocoon. Who knows? It's a lot going on. I know the whole fluke thing is a fucking meme and everyone hates the fucking flukes. They're fucking annoying and shit. But like, the soundtrack that plays when you're in waterways, it makes you so uneasy, you know? And I think that's the whole point of it. The whole story with Isma and her grove is really nice. And one thing I really like about waterways is all the shortcuts you get back to the city. I feel like they're really cool. I don't know. There's something about this place that just... I feel like it contributes a lot to the world building of Hallownest, more than people give it credit for. I'm not gonna put it very high up because in the end, it is a pretty fucking annoying area, and like I can completely understand that. I will put it in B tier. I feel like this is a solid B tier entry though. I'll put it above Ancient Basin. Ancient Basin is just a bit too basic, but some people might disagree with this entry, but I feel like Waterways, yeah, B tier. Lastly, the Hive. The Hive is a place that has, I feel like, the most missed potential in the game. It's a cool place, but oh man, it didn't even have a boss fight at the start. They had to like, the Hive Knight was introduced in a later patch, but the Hive is just, it doesn't do enough, you know what I mean? I feel like it could be so much more. The drill bees are fucking obnoxious as all hell. You know, I don't know about you guys. I don't particularly enjoy navigating through the bee section, and other than that, what else does it have going for it? I mean, it gives you bare bones charm that's sort of helpful in the White Palace. But speaking of the White Palace, the stupid White Palace is in here. What the hell? Okay, whatever. I'll edit it in the video later. But yeah, the Hive just doesn't do very much for me. I'm gonna put the Hive in, that's like C tier or B tier. Yeah, C tier. I don't know. The Hive just never clicked with me like the other places did. But again, I have nothing to say, like, too bad to say about it, so I can't really put it in F tier, but C tier will have to do. There's 2 entries here that are missing, I feel, unless I'm forgetting an area just completely. But Infected Crossroads and the White Palace. The White Palace, I will put it in A tier if I could, because it is the only platforming section in the whole game, and once you get good at the game, platforming is fucking fun. Alright, to all you fucking plebs out there who think that White Palace fucking sucks, I just have one thing to say to you. But in all honesty, the White Palace is cool. The whole mystery behind it of why, like, if it's in the dream world or not, which by the way, I think it is, and the whole, how you see the place where it's supposed to be in the ancient basin, but it's just an empty lot, and then you dream nail this fucking dude, and you go to the dream world, and the whole palace is there, and of course, you see the Pale King in person, dead on his throne. I feel like that's really cool, you know? It has a Path of Pain in it, which is one of the most fun challenges in the game. Just a very cool place. White Palace, I feel like solid A tier. I can't wait for Silksong to have more platforming sections like that. And then, of course, the Infected Crossroads. I feel like Infected Crossroads is good. It's much better than Forgotten Crossroads in terms of the atmosphere it provides. You see the only place in real time change while you're adventuring through the place, and Infected Crossroads is, it's a cool place, but I feel like gameplay wise it's very, very annoying. Like, I don't know if Team Cherry intended it to be that annoying, but oh man, that area just, the enemies are just fucking bastards, you know? They just run at you to double damage, the fucking Vengefly things become assholes, and especially when you're trying to do the flower quest, oh man, this place could fucking suck it. But I feel like objectively it's better than Forgotten Crossroads, so I will put it in B tier. So yeah, that's it. That's my area tier list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments, you know? What's your favorite area in Hollow Knight? I would fucking love to know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps me out, and I'll see you with a new video soon. Bye.